I am Dr. Douglas Wine, and today we're going to talk about the most important aspect of lasers, which is the wavelength, also known as nanometers. So the first aspect of knowing and talking about nanometers is to know that lasers are copies of the sun. So the wavelengths that come from the sun are measured in these nanometers, and they range from 0 to 1200. So they're put into three different categories. The first category is called ultraviolet light, and that's from 0 to 400. When we also call that detrimental light because it's used for things like surgery. So the high 300 nanometers would be used for LASIK surgery, cauterizing, things of that nature. When you get down into the lower 300 range, they're known to be used in industry for engraving and cutting steel beams, things like that. So that's known as the ultraviolet light. The second category is known as visible light, and that is health light. That's the health category. That ranges from 400 to 780. And how that is determined and how it's recognized, if you will, is by the colors of the visible light. So for example, you will have the 400 range, which before low 400 will give you violet light. The higher 400 is going to give you blue light. When you get into the 500s, it's green. And then you get into the 600s, and there's different ranges, if you will, of red light. And when you get into the above 780, then you get into the third category, which is known as infrared. And that is non-visible light, and that will go the whole way up to 1200 nanometers. So there you go, from 0 to 1200, you've got your ultraviolet, you've got your visible, and you have your infrared. Now, the reason we want to talk about these wavelengths and why they're the most important part of what lasers actually do is because we're really interested in our health. In today's world, we've been so bombarded, and people, I think, are getting sick of diagnosing and treating symptoms of, so to speak, and they're starting to get into the realm of let's start to get ourselves healthy. Well, if you want to be healthy, your health, our animals' health, the health of our plants, any living thing, if you will. In fact, 99.9% of all living things on Earth absorb some light in that visible range. So if you want to be healthy, your body has to be in a regenerative state. And most people don't realize this aspect of regeneration. Let's just talk about a couple different organs and systems, if you will. Your heart, for example, is brand new every 120 days. Most people don't realize that. So that means that 4 months ago, you didn't have one heart cell that you have today. That is if you're perfectly healthy and you're in a perfect regenerative state. So all body tissues, if you will, regenerate in a different cadence. So the more liquid the body substance, the faster it regenerates, and the more dense the body substance, the longer it takes to regenerate. The plasma of the blood, for example, is the fastest regenerating part of the human body. So if you've ever given a pint of blood, for example, we only have 7 pints of blood. But if you give a pint of blood, you're talking just under 20%. We don't even blink an eye. They tell you to get up. If you don't have any dizziness, they tell you to go about your day. Well, how can your body give 20% of something away and not have any effect? Well, it's because it regenerates so quickly. The plasma of the blood literally regenerates that fast. So your regeneration goes by density. The most liquid organ in the human body is our pancreas. Pancreas is brand new every 30 days, if you're perfectly healthy. Your liver is brand new every 60 days. Then you go to more fibers. Like I said, your heart every 120 days, kidneys every 6 months, lungs are a little bit more fibrous, 9 months, muscles 12 months, ligaments, tendons, cartilage, discs. That's right, discs in your back. Your spine can regenerate. Bone can regenerate. If you break a bone, it regenerates, right? Well, how does all of that happen? So all of this regeneration is controlled by a chemical and body chemistry, which the chemical is called adenosine triphosphate. We call it ATP for short. You can see it down here to my left. So adenosine triphosphate is the body's regeneration chemical, and it is produced in the mitochondria. So the mitochondria actually produce all of our energy and produce all of our regenerative factors, ATP. But ATP just isn't made out of thin air. There's actually 4 precursors to the body and the mitochondria producing this ATP. And these four precursors are 4 enzymes, right? So these 4 enzymes have to get activated in order for ATP to be produced. The 4 enzymes are this: NADH, FADH, cytochrome C reductase, and cytochrome C oxidase. Now, NADH is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, okay? That is activated by a wavelength from the sun, and it's a 405 wavelength, which is violet light. That activates that. That's what actually starts the process of cellular regeneration. A second complex, what we call the second part of regeneration, is called FADH, which is called flavin adenine dinucleotide. And that is activated by two different wavelengths. It's activated by a 470 and a 670, a 470 being blue light and a 670 being bright red. So once they get activated, then that allows for the third complex to be activated, and that is cytochrome C reductase. See, that again, activated by two more wavelengths from the sun, a 520 and a 405. Now you'll notice the 405 actually activates all three, but here it activates also cytochrome C reductase. The cytochrome C reductase activates, once that's activated, that allows for the activation of cytochrome C oxidase, and again, there's three more wavelengths of sun. You have the 670, which is also in the complex 2, you have the 470 in the complex 2, and you have the 405, which is in 1, 3, and of course 5. Now, once the cytochrome C oxidase is activated, all of these now in conjunction is called the electron transport chain. That allows for ATP production, and your cells are actually allowed to reproduce. And that is, again, what determines your health. Now, so if you want to look good, if you want to feel good, that's a lot different than being healthy, all right? Symptoms are the last stage of a problem, so you just don't want to treat symptoms with pain and inflammation. Up until now, all lasers that have been made, so lasers have been used now for almost 40 years, and the two wavelengths that have been used consistently have been the 635 and the 808. And those two wavelengths are known to help, and they're phenomenal actually, for pain and inflammation, reducing pain and reducing inflammation. And they're able to also penetrate deep into the body because the infrared is what allows for penetration. So you're allowed to go deep into the body with these two wavelengths, and they're good for pain and inflammation. But they don't correct the reason why you have pain and inflammation. So again, if you want to just use a laser for symptoms, that's fine, then go purchase any laser that you can find and you can do that. But if you want to actually get to the root cause, you have to be able to get to and activate and have the body in the regenerative state. And if you'll notice, there is no 635 and 808 that actually help with the regeneration of tissues. Again, they're great for pain and inflammation, but as far as regenerating body tissues and getting them in a healthier state, they don't have anything to do with this. So here you need all of these other different wavelengths, nanometers, if you will, in order to create this health aspect so your body can actually be well. Now, that's not all that just these nanometers do. They're also known, in fact, I have a list right in front of me, right below the camera here. I have a list of things that all of these wavelengths do in conjunction with regeneration. So for example, the 405, which is the violet light, is antimicrobial. It also can break down biofilms. It's great for emulsifying fat. And it will eliminate both staph infections and gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. The 470 is known for detoxification, helping to detox the body. The 520, which is the green light, is known for its neurological effect. So we're talking cognitive things, brain fog, different neurological situations. Now, we're not allowed to say that lasers diagnose and treat diseases, so hopefully you understand what I'm trying to tell you there as far as neurological and cognitive things. 520 is excellent for that. Then you get into the other wavelengths. The 670 is known for lymphatic drainage, also nerve regeneration, motor function, musculoskeletal healing, and again, cognitive things. And then you get into, again, the final things, which are the 635 and the 808. The 808 is used, and it's great because, and you want to have the 808 because that allows for deep penetration into the body. 635 also a great nanometer because you don't want to have pain. If you can eliminate pain, that's a great thing. But there's so much more to a laser if you actually have all of the different wavelengths. So here we are talking about the different lasers and the different wavelengths. So where do you find a laser that has all of these different aspects. Again, there's not that many laser companies here in the United States. There's approximately 10 or 12 different companies that sell lasers. All of them sell lasers for pain and inflammation, and they all have 635 and 808 diodes. There's only 2 companies that actually use different wavelengths, and the other one company doesn't use all of these. They simply just use a violet and a green, and you have to use them separately, so that doesn't really make sense. The only company and the only laser that I know of, and again, I've researched lasers my whole entire life, so the only laser that is made that actually incorporates all of the different wavelengths is this laser right here. And this is called the Blue Honest Pro VX laser. I'm going to turn it on while we're talking here. This laser has 15 diodes in it. It has 4 infrared, which are the 808. It has 4 635s, so the pain and inflammation is covered. But it also has 2 violets. It's got 2 of the 405s. It's got 2 of the greens, the 520s. It's got 1 blue, which is the 470. It's got 2 670s in it as well. So that total is 15 different lasers. Now we're going to put this on, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. And you're going to see this in 1 second. And here we go. So hopefully you can see this, but there's different frequencies going. That's a whole nother aspect of the lasers, which you can watch our next video if you want to know more about frequencies and power. By the way, they're also very, very important. After nanometers, they're the next in line as far as importance of lasers. So here you can see the different colors and different things. So this laser actually incorporates, not only does it incorporate all of the wavelengths, but it has multiple laser diodes in each wavelength. So it also covers a huge amount of area, if you will, not just one diode or 2, but again, 15 different diodes. So if you would like, there you can hear it working. If you would like to know more about the Pro VX laser, you can visit bluehonest.com. We have an enormous amount of energy and research to prove everything that I've just told you and much, much more. So if you're interested in learning more, please go to bluehonest.com and watch it. If you like this video and you want to see more of these videos, you can click the 2 buttons below, like button and the more button, and they will take you and roll you, if you will, into being able to watch the videos as we produce them. And if you want to see more, again, go to bluehonest.com. If you would like to talk with me or anybody in our group, please contact us at customerservice@bluehonest.com, and we will set up either a Google Meet or a phone call, and we would be more than happy to talk to you about the Pro VX and give you more information, as much information as you would need, so that you can make a great decision on which laser you would like to buy. So thank you for watching. Very much appreciated. Have yourself a great day.